Alright guys, it's Joe here, and today I got a nice little match of domination on array. I'm using the L96 with variable zoom. I'm using flat jacket, tap mask and sleight of hand. And I don't actually remember getting this game. I think it's like 7 centuries old maybe. Not proper sure of the date, but something along those lines. And yeah, I have done this commentary about 20 times now. I keep trying to talk about stuff and I just get sidetracked and end up not knowing what I'm on about. And yeah, there was one subject I was going to talk about, but I'm actually going to hold that off and do that on a different day, because I actually want to collect my thoughts properly and write it down a bit so I know what I'm on about. So yeah, I got an email off someone, not an email, an inbox message off of YouTube a few days ago, asking me a few questions about sniping basically, and I'm not gonna read my response, but I'm gonna read the cliff notes to it, because it was a very good question. It was something I don't think I've ever properly talked about in a commentary that well. So yeah, let me just read his message to me. It was I've been sniping VL96 for a bit now, and I need tips on how to improve on my gameplay. What attachments do you use? What perks do you use? What sensitivity and other advice can you give? This feels like I'm doing a freaking advice video, doesn't it? This feels a bit hypocritical, really, doesn't it? But this is sniping, not really life advice. Well, depends if you take sniping really that seriously. Anyway, so basically my response was epically long, and I started off with attachments, and yeah, I'm just going to quickly go over them. So there's two really good attachments that I'd recommend using when you snipe, and that's variable scope or the extended mags. I personally think the variable zoom is actually faster than the reg scope, so trying that off to begin with might actually help you get better at quick scoping in general. I don't know why I've never really. I think I spoke about that, saying that variable scope's faster, but I'm not 100% sure. Also, I like to play on 3x zoom, because when you zoom in, you'll actually be able to, your shot will definitely be on the body if you're that far zoomed in. That's my theory behind it. Don't know if that's true or not, but yeah. Second is extended mags. Because you have 10 bullets, it means it frees up not using sleight of hand, so you can use a different perk for that, which I'll get onto in a little bit. But yeah, having 10 bullets is really good, because you can get a really long feed if montages is your deal and you get into a good spot. So it's really good for that sort of stuff, and it makes you know you're gonna reload half as much. So yeah, it's pretty good. Other two attachments, the infrared and the ACOG, they're basically a bit naff, more for the advanced sort of sniper or someone who's pretty confident with sniping in general. Infrared is really good unless they're using Ghost, and a lot of people do use Ghost, so it's a bit of a bummer sometimes. And the ACOG scope is just weird. I feel like when I snipe with the ACOG scope, I have to hold my breath longer, or hold into the zoom longer than I would with a normal sniper rifle. So yeah, I try to avoid that. So yeah, anyway, on to perks. For first hit, basically I always use flat jacket for sniping. Basically I just don't want to get hurt by explosions and stuff like that, because it really pisses me off. Also means I can rush more using flat jacket, and also I can cap flags a lot more confidently because I have flat jacket on. And throwbacks are fun, so definitely that's why it's fun. Anyway, so yeah, this second, I'll talk about the second tier last because it's quite a big one. So you have a third tier I use. Normally it's tap mask, because tap mask pro is really good for capping objectives and stuff like that. You're not going to get hazed and stuff like that, so it's pretty good, not gonna lie. The fact that you can't get flash means you can rush more, and you're less likely going to get done by someone who's hiding in a hole and it's just throwing stuns at you, so it's a bit more defense against that. Sometimes I use marathon because I like running around tons, so it's pretty good on that part. Anyway, so onto tier 2, because this is the biggest bit and it takes up tons. So yeah, this basically is down to preference. I can't recommend really what really good, you must use this class because it's the best. So it's basically down to preference. If you're not using extended mags, I'd use sleight of hand, because you get that fast reload, so it's pretty useful in terms of that, because you might go through 5 bullets really fast if you're in a sniper battle. So yeah, the sleight of hand's really useful. But if you are using extended mags, I'd recommend probably steady aim or hardened. And I think hardened's pretty underlooked. Basically because its pro variation is insane. If you get shot, you're not going to move up and flinch as much. So if they get the first shot off at you, you can carry on going and probably better accuracy with your gun. So I mean, it's really good for that sort of stuff. And that's why I think it's quite underlooked. It should be used a bit more. Steady aim obviously shrinks down the sights, so you can shoot. You're more likely to get a hit from a no scope, and if your quick scope's a little too fast, it at least shrinks the reticle of it a bit. So yeah, that's why people use steady aim. Also for fast knives as well, people use that for that. So yeah. Finally, you might use Warlord. I wouldn't recommend using Scout unless you want a hard scope a lot. But apart from that, I wouldn't recommend using it. Anyway, so I've said anyway a lot. Anyway, god damn it. Sometimes Warlord's really good if you want to use a variable scope, getting faster at it, and you don't want the you don't want to use sleight of hand. Use Warlord. You get more flashbangs, you get more grenades. So I don't know, it's pretty decent, and I'd recommend using Warlord sometimes. I use it quite a bit, as you probably seen in my videos. So yeah, finally on to sensitivity. This isn't my final point. There's one more point which is more important, and I'll probably do a proper video about that in a bit. So anyway, unless I have time, how much time do I have left? I've got plenty of time to be able to do it. So yeah, he asked me what sensitivity I use. I use sensitivity 7, and it's all down to preference. If you want a fast sensitivity, use a fast sensitivity. The highlights to it are basically if you can see someone at the corner of your eye, you can get to them faster. You can also turn on people, which is quite useful. But I use 70 because it's not quite out there. It's not quite low. So the way I got used to using 7 sensitivity was I cranked it up to 10. And just go on combat training and stuff like that, and just practice with it. And once you got semi-competent, you going really fast and be able to get some shots off, crank it down to 7 or lower it down to 7, and then your shot, because you think it's so fast, when you react, it will be slower, and you just get used to it. You adjust to it because it's slower, so it's less of a I don't know, it psychologically works a lot better, and that's how I got used to using 7 sensitivity. There we go. So yeah, I'd recommend 7 probably. You can turn on people, and it's not too fast, but it's not too slow. So yeah. And finally, my most important tip of sniping. Anything you can take away from this video, take away this, right? If you want to get better at shooting, a lot of people bugger up on quickscoping when they zoom in, but they zoom in at the wrong place. And the way I tackled this, and actually one of my friends told me this, what you do is you zoom in and hold your breath with your sniper scope, and where obviously the dot meets where the bullet's going to go, get a bit of blue tack, get a really small bit, and put a dot and just put it in on there, right? So you've permanently got where your crosshairs are going to go, so you can line it up before you go for the quick scope, and it means you'll be able to get your shot on. It also works for red guns. It means you'll be able to pop up when you go into your sight. You'll be able to on their body, so you can preemptively get on their body. Once you've used that, and once you've used it for a bit, and you get used to it, if you take it off, you naturally go for it. And that's how I've got better at aiming. Accuracy is a really key point to COD. If you can get the first shot off, you're going to win a firefight 9 times out of 10. So yeah, put the blue tack on your screen, and it will help so much. That's what I did, and it helped so much. And I don't really, is there a point of doing a tutorial on that? It's probably not, but yeah, definitely keep that in mind because it's really helpful and really good. So yeah, that was my email read, my message read. I don't know if I sounded really weird in this commentary. I was laying on my back, so fucking yawn. Goddamn yawns. I hate them so much. They're gay. Anyway, so yeah, this match is slowly coming to an end. I actually managed to talk quite a bit. My mouth's really dry, so I need a beverage, and then I'm going to bed. It's like 1 in the morning, and I'm not going to put an alarm on. Fuck it. I'm going to be hardcore and not put one on. So yeah, you don't really care about my sleep schedule whatsoever. So anyway, this match is coming to an end. I think we let them have the 2 flags so we could get more points. But yeah, this match is over. My final score, I believe, was it's 190. Yeah, miles away really. So yeah, When I come back, I've got a video I want to talk about some stuff that will be going down on my channel and stuff I want to try and get people involved with. So yeah, but I'll talk about that in the next video I do. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. My final score was 36 for 6, I believe, or 32. I'll put it in the description. Anyway, hope you guys enjoy this, and I'll see you later.